Let's look at the solution of prime puzzles. Everybody had a good time with this one because this was more manageable, I think. Okay. 6 candidates, Piyush, Qureshi, Sumit, Tanmay, Umang, were called for an interview at EMW Private Limited for the post of marketing manager. Each of them has a different surname from among Firoz, Hari, Singh, Tiwari, Vyom, and Vadhva, and was called on a different day of a week from Monday to Saturday. It was observed that the first letter of the name and that of the surname were not the same for any of the 6 candidates. It is also known that Qureshi and Sumit were called on so on and so forth. So we have attribute wise, we have name, day of the week, then name, and then surname. Just 3 attributes to arrange. I hope you like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the final 6. We have day, we have name, and we have surname. Okay. Qureshi and Sumit were called on 2 consecutive days in no particular order. Given that we have all the slots empty, we can't really incorporate that anywhere. Mr. Vadhva was called on the day next to the one on which Mr. Firoz was called. Now pay attention, people. Although Mr. Vadhva makes a lot of sense, as in Vadhva is a known surname. Firoz is usually a first name, but here Firoz has been given as a surname. So keep track of that. Anything with a Mr. is a surname. Anything without a Mr. Qureshi is usually a surname, but Qureshi here is given as a first name. Exactly 3 candidates were called between Qureshi and Tanmay. So it can either be day 1 and day 5, or it can be day 2 and day 6. This grouping will work. The first piece of confirmed information you have is Rohit Vadhva was called on Friday. Okay. So I'm going ahead and writing it this way. In the 5th slot, Friday, Rohit Vadhva. Now, have we got any information about Vadhva so far? Yes, in second statement, Mr. Vadhva was called on the day next to the one on which Mr. Firoz was called. So this has to be Firoz on a Thursday. This has to be Firoz on a Thursday. Okay. Additionally, for the third statement, exactly 3 candidates were called between Qureshi and Tanmay. 1-5. Can you have 1-5 is as good as Monday and Friday? Can you have it on Monday and Friday now? No, on Friday, neither Qureshi nor Tanmay are there. So it has to be the grouping of 2 and 6. Now, even with the grouping of 2 and 6, hopefully you realize Qureshi and Sumit were to be called on 2 consecutive days. Qureshi and Sumit were to be called on 2 consecutive days. So you can't really have Tanmay. Let me write down all the days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Now that we know that Qureshi and Tanmay are on Tuesday and Saturday, they are on Tuesday and Saturday, that does not translate. That also means Qureshi has to be on Tuesday, because if Qureshi is not on Tuesday, he will be on Saturday. And on Saturday, if he was there, Qureshi and Sumit cannot be on consecutive days. So I know this is Qureshi and I know this is Tanmay. Okay. Rohit was called on Friday. Piyush's name is Hari. Okay. Piyush's name is Hari. So I have a pairing. Piyush, Hari. This grouping I know for certain. He will either come on Monday or come on Wednesday. Mr. Vyom and Mr. Hari were called on 2 consecutive days in no particular order. Now see, Mr. Piyush Hari will either come on a Monday or will come on a Wednesday. Will either come on a Monday or come on a Tuesday. But regardless, can you see if Mr. Hari and Mr. Vyom are supposed to come on 2 consecutive days, Qureshi has to be Mr. Vyom. Piyush Hari here, then Mr. Vyom here. Qureshi Vyom here, then Mr. Hari here. Qureshi definitely has to be Mr. Vyom. Okay. So now, in Piyush and Sumit, the 2 people that I know, Piyush and Sumit, have to come on Monday or Wednesday. So the only person who hasn't been allotted a day is Umang first name wise. This is also done. Now for Tanmay, what surnames are left? Piyush is allotted to Hari. Piyush is allotted to Hari. Vadhva is gone. Firoz is gone. Vyom is gone. The only two surnames left are Tiwari and Singh. Of course, Tanmay cannot be Tiwari because each of them has a different surname. It was observed that the first letter of the name and that of the surname was not same for any of the 6 candidates. So Tanmay cannot be Tiwari. Tanmay has to be Singh, which would also translate into the last person left. His surname is Sumit Tiwari now. We don't know if Sumit came first. I'll put it this way. It could either be Sumit Tiwari here or Piyush Hari, or the alternate case would be Piyush Hari here or Sumit Tiwari. We have all the possible cases listed. Let's get to individual questions. Which of the following is the surname of the Sumit? I know his surname to be Tiwari. Who among the following was called on Thursday? It was Umang. Mr. Vyom was called on which of the following days? Mr. Vyom was called on a Tuesday. So option D. And then finally we have who among the following was called on Monday? On Monday, it could either be Sumit or Mr. Tiwari. Sorry, Mr. Sumit or Mr. Piyush or Mr. Tiwari or Mr. Hari. We see when it says who among the following was called on Mr. Monday, Mr. Hari is also present and Mr. Tiwari is also present. Can't really decide between them. Answer has to be option D, cannot be determined. Next set now. Okay. The annual incomes in lakh of 6 persons, Anuj, Bindra, Chitra, Dipanshu, Ishan, and Farhan are 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 16 in no particular order. Each of them saves a different percentage of his or her annual income from among 10%, 20%, 15%, 35%, 40%, and 60%, and invests it in a different financial instrument from among bonds, FD, MF, RS, shares, and commodities in no particular order. Okay. So we have name, income, saving, and finally, what do we have? Instrument. There are 6 people. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. The average of annual income of Anuj, Bindra, and Dipanshu is 6 lakhs, which means the summation of income of Anuj, Bindra, and Dipanshu. 3 numbers have to add up to 18. With 3, I need 15. Can't really make everything else is even. So 3 will not be included. Can I see 16 will also not be included? Because once if I take 16, the summation of 18 will be crossed very easily. Similarly, 10 will not be included. If I include 10, from the other 2, I need 8, and I cannot get 8 out of 4, 6, and 8. So happily, I know Anuj, Bindra, and Dipanshu in some order are 4, 6, and 8. These folks are 4, 6, and 8. This is guaranteed. This is guaranteed. Okay. The person who earns the highest is 16 lakhs as income, saves 5.6 lakhs. Okay. 5.6 lakh of 16 will be 48, would be 4.8 would be 30%. So 5.6 would be 35%. 35%, 5.6 lakhs. Okay, I had made an edit in the question. I now remember there is no lakhs there. Anyway, 5.6 lakhs, and invests it in RS. The instrument used here is RS. Cool. Chitra saves 25% of her annual income. Chitra saves 25% of her annual income. Done. The annual income of Ishan is the least among the six. So Ishan is definitely at income level of 3. Income level of 3. And at this time, can you see 4, 6, and 8 were going to Anuj, Bindra, and Dipanshu. 16 is going to somebody else. Ishan has got 3. The only number left for Chitra is 10. So the amount of money she saves is 2.2 lakhs. Okay. Now continuing with the third point, the annual income of Ishan is the least among the six. He saves 1/12 of the amount saved by the person who invests in mutual funds. Okay. Now look at this. Ishan can potentially save 10%. 3 lakh ka 10% would be 30,000, which would mean saving for somebody else has to be 3,60,000. Can I get some combo of 3,60,000 out of the numbers given here? Yes. For 6 lakh guy saving 60%, I can get 3,60,000. So this is a possibility. Next, let's see. If Ishan was saving 20%, if Ishan was saving 20%, say he would be saving 60,000. So some other person has to be saving 7,20,000. Can somebody be saving 7,20,000 out of the list of the items given? 7,20,000 मतलब इसका income तो होनी चाहिए. 8 लाख वाले को 90% सेविंग चाहिए. There is no 90% mentioned. 10 लाख वाले को 72% सेविंग चाहिए और 10 लाख वाले तो anyway चित्रा and 16 lakh वाला 35% anyway use up हो चुके. So this is impossible. 20% is gone, 25% is gone, 35% is gone. If I go to 40% directly, if 3 लाख वाले ने 40% सेव किया तो उसने 1,20,000 सेव कर दिया. So now somebody else has to be saving 14,40,000. एंड कोई इतना सेविंग मतलब 16 लाख वाला शायद कर लेगा 90% सेविंग करे तो, बट 16 लाख वाले ने तो ऑलरेडी 35% सेविंग किया. दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. एंड कैन यू सी यू नो लॉन्गर नीड टू चेक एनी मोर केसेस. वी नो फॉर सर्टेन द 3 lakh person has saved 10% or 0.3 lakhs or 0.3 lakhs. This is done. And he saves 1/12 of the amount saved by the person who invests in MF. He's saving 1/12 of the amount saved by the 60% fellow in, 60% fellow saving 3.6 lakh, income being 6 lakh and the instrument being MF. Now this person here, this person here can be Anuj, Vidra, Dipanshu. The 16 lakh person has to necessarily be Farhan. This also I can infer. Wonderful. Next is the sum of the annual incomes of the person who invests in bonds and the person who saves 20%. The sum of annual incomes of the person who invests in bonds and the person who saves 20% is equal to the annual incomes of Anuj and the person who saves 60%. Okay. Person who saves 60% has annual income of 6. So Anuj, 4 plus 6 is equal to some other two numbers, or 8 plus 6 is equal to some other two numbers. If I got 4 plus 6, I get 10 here. Which other two numbers will add up to 10 here? None. So this is an unacceptable case. So Anuj will be 8. Anuj will be 8. See, the annual income of the Anuj and the person who saves 60%. 60% person we know is saving has an income of 6 lakh. So Anuj would have a saving of 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs. And their income is equivalent to the person who invests in bonds and the person who saves 20%. Now, the person who saves 20% has to be somebody apart from Anuj, because then otherwise Anuj, if Anuj is the common person in both the situations, then the 6 lakh person would be the person who is saving bonds. That is not possible. So 20% is being saved here. If 20% is being saved here, the only number left is 40%. And 40% of 8 would be 3.2 lakh. The only income left to mention is 4 lakh. 20% of that is 0.8 lakh. Okay. So, okay, reading the line again. The sum of the annual income of the person who invests in bonds and the person who saves 20%. So, person who saves 20% and somebody who invests in bond. 4 plus 10. 4 plus 10. So, this Chitra has to be the person who invests in bonds. This is also known. Wonderful. Okay. Sorry, Chitra has to be the person who invests in bonds. Bindra invests in shares. If Bindra invests in shares, the only place Bindra can come is here. This is Bindra. This is shares. And which would mean this here has to be Dipanshu. Okay. The person who saves 40% does not invest in FD. So Anuj does not invest in FD. FD is with Ishan. So what is the instrument left for Anuj? Has to be commodities. Wow, everything is coming out precisely. This is so nice. What is the difference between the savings of Ishan and Chitra? The difference in savings of Ishan and Chitra is 2,20,000. The original question was something in lakhs, but I'd changed it to 2,20,000. You would have seen 2 lakh as in without the lakhs bit. So your answer should have been 2,20,000, not 2.2. Who invests his or her savings in bonds? Chitra. What is the annual income in lakhs of Farhan? 16. What is the average income in lakhs of Chitra and Dipanshu? Average income of Chitra and Dipanshu in lakhs will be 8. That is all for this set. Hopefully you had fun. You learned something. Okay, bye.